Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Craig Neeson. This is Craig Neeson Photography, where we travel around doing photography either locally in our home state of Missouri or when we go on slightly longer trips when time permits. This week we're down at Palo Duro Canyon in Texas, and we're set up on the rim. I'm actually here with two other YouTubers. You might know them. Shawn and Corinne from the Travels of Red Rover, and they're checking out a pole right now. I'm not quite sure why, but hi folks. So we're going to be hanging with them for the next few days and going around seeing some stuff here and also in Oklahoma, and it should be a lot of fun. So let's see what I took away this morning on the edge of the rim.
So let me start off by saying that morning was very, very windy. We were hoping for more clouds in the skies. What we got was not exactly what we hoped for. Typical outing for landscape photography anywhere in the world. I'm going to walk you through my process of doing a bracketed shot. So I'm going to show you each one of the shots here. We're on the overexposed at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to blend these three exposures together. Base exposure plus 3 stops and minus 3 stops, as you see on the screen there. We're going to take those shots, we're going to blend them together in Lightroom or Photoshop. Both have really good tools for doing this already. And come up with a really high dynamic range image that we can actually work with and tweak better than my aging D600 can handle on its own. This is the processed image right here, and I like what I came away with. It's pretty good. Did a little bit of dehazing in there, did some work in the sky. Of course, I took out all the dust that's accumulating on that sensor, especially on this trip where we had high winds and little bitty dust storms.
Okay, so let me walk you through this little composition I found. There's a line of rim rock right in through here. That looks kind of cool. It's pretty much red, but there's a little hints of some white limestone in there too. It looks like the layers and striations of the canyon are pretty cool looking now that we're getting some good light down there. So what I've done is I've zoomed in to, oh, what did I got? I got just a hair under 200 mil, just to zoom in on that line of striations there. And the sun is just now peeking up over the horizon there. You can see it. We got kind of a cool glow going. There's some dust and some wispy clouds way off in the distance, but not much light. It's not great, but you know what? We're here. Gotta take the photograph.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to take the photograph. Here again, I'm walking you through the process that I go through for bracketing exposures. This is the underexposed by 3 stops. This is the base exposure. You can kind of see the haze here. In the next frame, you're going to see the overexposed, and it really brings out the haze because that's how much haze there was that it almost blew out the image at 3+ stops. So here we're going to take those 3 exposures, the plus 3 stops, minus 3 stops, and the base exposure, and we're going to take them in Lightroom actually and just do an HDR blend to produce the flat HDR file to work from. And now you have a base high dynamic range shot. There's no processing at this point other than blending the 3 images together. It looks a little flat in my mind. It seems like there's too much haze, and we really need to do a lot of work here on this image to bring it up to the processed image. So you see there's better color, a little bit more saturation in those colors on the processed image, and a lot less haze. So here again, basically what I ended up doing is dehazing it, adjusting my blacks and my whites levels, doing a little dodge and burn in post-process to get this image the way that I wanted it. It's still not perfect because with the high winds, and even with the fact that I was sheltering my setup my lens was moving a little bit, so it's not quite tack sharp. Tell me what you think down below. So now it's time for one of those ultra-wide panos that I love to do. Multiple images here. I think this one actually has 11 different frames to make the final image. So here I'm showing you how they kind of stitch together in processing. Yeah, a lot of work here. I do tend to overlay a little bit more than most people, just so that I know the images are going to line up when I take them in to stitch them as a panoramic. I've had too many times where 25% overlap doesn't quite get it done in post-processing. So I go a little bit overboard. Like I said, I do almost 50% overlap sometimes. And it depends on how wide the panoramic is that I'm working on. If it's a really wide panoramic scene, I want to way overshoot so that I can crop down to get the image that I want. If you noticed, the bushes there are moving a little bit in the shot, and I didn't want to really crank my ISO to get that stable shot. I wanted low ISO, low noise. I know I'm obsessed with noise. I'm probably one of the few people that really care because it's a photography thing. So side by side, raw on the left, post-processed on the right. I cropped in, got rid of the distractions of that bush because it was just too much for me. Here again, I dehazed and did a lot of cleanup in the sky to get rid of dust spots. This was probably my favorite image from that morning. It kind of conveys what we were seeing. It wasn't a gorgeous, epic morning. It just was. And we enjoyed it nonetheless. Have you guys ever had one of those mornings? Let me know in a comment down below. Well, I think that does it for this morning, doesn't it,
It really
Shawn?
does. Yeah, I think so. The dust in the canyon really made things tough this morning. It was kind of just diffusing the light everywhere, so you never got any nice, sharp, bright light on the rocks.
Yeah, and it's a little bit too windy for me operating on my 70 to 300. I've got to actually block the wind.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I get a little bit of shake on that lens.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually left my ISO up at around 400 this morning all day because it was just, just trying to take that edge off the wind, shaking the
Keep
camera.
the shutter up a little
Keep
bit.
the shutter
Yeah.
speed up a little bit, yeah. So, all in all, I mean, it was it's a mediocre spot for shooting without clouds. If we'd had clouds this morning and maybe a little less wind, it would be probably a fairly pretty shot. But without the clouds, it's pretty iffy.
And it's really windy still.
Yeah, I don't know if you're hearing us because it's blowing so hard right now. So,
as they'd say across the pond, it's a bloody gale.
it's bloody gale. Yes, it
Yep.
definitely is. Or if you're in Florida, it's a hurricane.
Yeah.
So, anyway, well, it was a good morning. It was good to get up. It's good to get started. Good to get the hands on the camera again.
Yep.
So,
And
all
good-
of those things were good.
And it was great to get out this morning with you guys because we both got here last night and it was
Yep.
kind of late and we were setting up. So hopefully we're gonna have some good days down here, and then when we go over to Oklahoma, we'll have some
I'm
better
sure
stuff
we
too.
will. As I say, we're going to go into the state park later today and down into the canyon. So, I think we should have a great day.
Yeah, do some recon.
Do a little recon. Yep.
Thanks for watching. If you haven't yet done so, hit that subscribe button. Give me a big thumbs up if you like the content. And if you haven't checked out Travels of Red Rover, head on over to Shawn and Corinne's channel. I'll leave a link down below and in the card up above. Thanks for watching. See you next time.